This episode is based on a true story. Some scenes have been dramatized. Always consult your doctor for medical advice.
Here in the land of two seas, Bahrain, healthcare is one of the priorities in the kingdom. Health, as we all know, is important for human happiness and our well-being. And at Health Hub, we answer your common questions and bring to you information about the advanced medical facilities in Bahrain. In today's episode,
today I'm going to see Lulwa, okay?
There's currently no scientific evidence to suggest that vaccines cause autism.
I was fortunate enough that whoever child I was taking care of still maintained a good relationship with me, even though I was giving them the injection at certain times.
Vaccinations have been absolutely essential for the control and eradication of diseases worldwide. However, vaccines remain a hot topic of debate up till this day. I am Dr. Khawla, and we have dedicated this episode to learning more about vaccinations.
Hi, Assalamu alaikum. I am Dr. Rashid. Today I'm going to see Lulwa, okay?
Okay.
You came here for vaccine,
Vaccine.
for
Yes.
school. Can I have the book, please? Okay. All vaccine is done. 5 years is remaining, okay?
Okay.
Today we'll do one injection and one medicine in the mouth.
Okay.
Okay. You have any questions after this?
She feel any pain or?
Yeah, she will have fever sometimes. Okay, she can have some pain wherever I will give the injection. Okay,
Okay.
this is temporary. It will go by itself.
Okay.
If there is a fever, you can give Panadol. If pain, you can give Panadol.
All right.
Okay,
Okay.
and after this, nothing. After this, there is no vaccine till 12 years.
Tell me.
Okay, every year you can give flu vaccine, which is as per requirement. Okay,
Thank
any
you.
more questions?
No, thank you.
Her weight and height is good, mashallah.
Okay.
I will call my nurse and then we'll give the vaccine.
Okay.
Okay. Hi, Casey, come in. Get me 5-year vaccine, DPT and OPV, okay? We had done vaccine for her today for DPT and polio for 5 years. Okay. After this, there is no more vaccine as per the Ministry of Health up to 12 years. Okay. After the vaccine, you can expect fever, some redness where I had given the vaccine, or some swelling. Okay. For the swelling, you can put cold packs. Okay. And for fever and pain, you can give Panadol.
Oh.
If
For
you
how many
feel
days?
that if the swelling is increasing or the fever is not going down in next 48 hours, you can come back to us and inshallah we'll take care of it.
Okay.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Hello, Dr. Qasim. How are you?
I'm doing well, thank you.
Thanks for having us today.
It's a pleasure.
Thank you. So, Dr. Qasim, our topic today is on vaccination. Can you talk to us, first of all, what are some of the principles in developing vaccines? Why do we get our children or our adults vaccines?
Okay, well, if you want to go through history of vaccination, you will realize that there are lots of diseases that were very prevalent, such as smallpox and polio, that were affecting millions of people all over the world. So with the advent of vaccination, now we are in a much better health state for all the communities, that we are able to prevent many diseases by these vaccinations. So definitely there is a good benefit from the vaccination to everybody in the world, basically.
Very good. There are a lot of obviously myths that go around regarding vaccination, and I'm going to try and address some of those or direct some of those, and I want to hear your opinion. One of them is vaccines cause autism. Is that true or not?
Well, I think we need to go again to history. In the late 1990s, there was a paper published by a doctor in the UK, Wakefield, and then he proposed that there is an association between measles vaccine and autism. The British Medical Council, after review of this paper that was published in the Lancet journal, first of all discredited that article completely, and they removed his license from practice. So now he is not even licensed to practice. And that is because the information that was published in that journal was not true. Even the Lancet journal itself has withdrawn that article completely.
And that was the start of this whole autism theory.
Correct.
With vaccines.
Correct.
But since then, has there been any research to support this theory? Or,
There is enough evidence in the literature from major and big numbers of surveillance that shows that there is absolutely no relation between measles or MMR vaccine and autism. And this has been proven again and again in many studies that are published in the literature. So I'm very confident to say that, there is no basis at all to that thing at all.
Very good. Dr. Qasim, what about people say they're worried about vaccines having lead or mercury or all these toxic substances to their children? What are your thoughts on that?
Now, lead or mercury, the thing is that there is no vaccine that has any of these things right now, okay? This is number one. Number two, even at the time that it was being used, it was not observed to have any effect at all in major publications. Now, of course, if you consider side effects of vaccination all over, yes, there are some side effects. We cannot deny that. However, it is not related to any of these products. And now, almost, I can say more than 99% of vaccines available do not have any trace of lead or mercury at all.
Very good. So talk to us about the new vaccinations that are potentially being introduced in the country.
Okay. First of all, I want to mention one more thing. Of course, when we talk about vaccination, we talk about immunization for children. One thing that we need to keep in mind is that adults need to be immunized against certain things, particularly flu vaccine, pneumococcal vaccine, and other vaccines that they may not have had as young children. And again, ministry has always been emphasizing that the vaccination is not only for children, it's for adults and for people who are under special requirement to receive vaccination where their immunity may be low, like patients on chronic immunosuppressive treatment or sickle cell disease. So all of these things are quite important. Now, the new vaccines that have been used before in other parts of the world that we really do need to introduce are Zoster vaccine. Now, herpes zoster, is a complication that somebody who has had chickenpox before may have it as an acquired thing after certain years. And zoster really produces a very uncomfortable illness that may be associated with the long-term pain and many things that may be so much bothersome. So there is now a Zoster vaccine which is very much available, and we hope to introduce it very soon in Bahrain. That's one thing. Also, another thing that is very well known to be very effective, and this is the vaccine that prevents cancer. And talking about that, it is human papilloma virus which prevents cervical cancer. Now, of course, we do have cervical cancer in our community as in anywhere else in the world. And immunizing young, as a matter of fact, not only girls, but girls and boys now, is recommended in other parts of the world to prevent this disease. So this is really the only vaccine that can prevent against an actual cancer. This is also in addition to the fact that hepatitis B vaccine prevents against chronic hepatitis and, of course, hepatocellular carcinoma. But these are the two vaccines that I would like to mention that need to be introduced, and I'm pretty sure that the authorities in the Ministry of Health and Public Health are considering both vaccines to be introduced very soon. And then, of course, there may be some new vaccines that will come in the future that we'll try to learn about and implement.
Beautiful. Thank you, Dr. Qasim. We appreciate it.
My pleasure.
Thank you very much. There are numerous myths that surround vaccination. Today, we will debunk 3 of those major myths. Myth number 1, vaccinations cause autism. There's currently no scientific evidence to suggest that vaccines cause autism. As a matter of fact, scientists believe that signs of autism start as early as the fetal period. Myth number 2, natural immunity is better than a vaccination-induced immunity. The fact is, if you're attempting to get natural immunity, that means acquiring the actual disease, and that by itself carries a significantly higher morbidity and mortality compared to the vaccination itself. What about myth number 3? Myth number 3, vaccines cause the disease itself. The fact is, the vaccine is composed of a killed virus or a part of the original virus, and those particles have no ability to cause the disease itself. دكتور عماد، كهدف infectious disease control بالمستشفى، شنو دورك من ناحية التطعيمات؟
والله شوفي، التطعيم طبعا هو شريان الحياة، وأهم شيء بالتطعيم المهم حق منو؟ حق الأطفال بشكل أساسي جدا. فوظيفتي يعني لازم أتأكد إنه التطعيم، بعد إذنك، لازم التطعيم يكون ستورج في المكان المناسب بالستب المعين اللي الملائم حقه طبعا. ولازم احنا دائما اعمل اورينتيشن ومونيتورنج للستاف وللتطعيم، شلون يحفظونه وشلون نشيك درجه الحراره. فدرجه الحراره احنا نشيكها اول شيء يوميا، حتى بالبابليك هوليداي والاوف داي، بالاجازات. نعم لازم نسويها. وعندنا طبعا بالاضافه الى المونيتورنج اللي عندنا هني اللي ديلي تشيكينج، هم بعد عندنا مونيتورنج داخل الثلاجه، الاشياء اللي دلنا اذا الثلاجه تعرضت للحراره الزائده، اذا الثلاجه تعرضت الى البروده الزائده، في عندنا مونيتورنج هذا موزع من الببليك هيلث من الصحه العامه. وطبعا الصحه العامه دائما تجينا بتفتيشات ميدانيه مفاجئه تتاكد من سلامه التطعيم. صح. وعندنا بعد مونيتورنج حق تغيرات التطعيم، اذا تعرض للحراره الزائده او للبروده الزائده يتغير لونه وما لونه، على طول عندنا بعد انديكيتور.
دكتور عماد، نعرف ان الثلاجه فوق درجه حرارتها غير عن تحت.
عدل صحيح.
فشلون نقدر نتحكم بهالشيء في التطعيمات وحفظها؟
الحين ايوه، سؤال جدا رائع. التطعيمات الاكثر حساسه للحراره اللي تتاثر بالحراره مثل شلل الاطفال نخليها فوق، والتطعيمات اللي تتاثر للبروده وما تحب البروده مثل الدي تي والدي تاب وغيرها نحطها تحت. وعندها شنو نحط فيها جنبها؟ المونيتر مال الانتي فريز، مال التفريز اللي اذا تعرضت الى التجميد. تدرون ثلاجه مفكوكه ممكن تعرض الى التجميد، يعني during night duty or بالاوف ديوتي.
ممكن تراوينا دكتور عماد
طبعا
الثلاجه؟
الثلاجه لازم دائما لوك، ودائما بكون مع الانشارج نيرس، ما بيعطوا ولا
مو كل من يقدر يفتح.
لا مو كل من، فنبطلها.
يعني صح تكرار الفتح يعرض
طبعا
حق الحراره.
ايوه. والحين راح يطلع الارم مثلا على عجاله. على عجال هذا مال الانتي فريز، اذا الحين صح عدل لان صار اكس، يعني الفاكسينات اللي هني تعرضت للتثليج وهذا غير مناسب لها. هذا المونيتورنج حق 3 شهور، اقدر ارجع للتمبريتشر حق 3 شهور، حتى وزاره الصحه
أيوة.
يعني تطالع عليه كامل، يخزن المعلومات لمده 3 شهور. وهذا اللي هني على عجاله، ما ابي اطول على الفاكسين. هذا الفاكسينيشن كول تشين مونيتور، هذا عشان يراونا اذا صار تغيرات بالحراره للفاكسين او اي شيء.
نعم.
بيختلف اللون من A ل B C طبعا، وكل شيء الى انديكيتر معين.
ونشوف الحراره اوريدي شويه
ايوه
قاعده يعني
واذا طولنا الحين بيعطيني الارم.
أيوة.
ما بيصير الارم. وعقب بنصكها
أيوة.
بنعطيها للانشارج
ممتاز.
نيرس.
شكرا دكتور عماد، شكرا
حياكم الله، أهلا
جزيلا على
وسهلا،
الشرح.
نتمنى السلامه للجميع.
شكرا.
I graduated from medical school in 1974, the American University of Beirut Medical School. I did 2 years of residency in Lebanon, and then I finished my 3rd year of residency at the University of Florida in Gainesville. After that, I joined the program of pediatric infectious diseases at Wayne State University Children's Hospital of Michigan in Detroit, Michigan. After that, I had some years of practice in Houston, and then came back to the Middle East to practice in Aramco healthcare facility for some time. And then I came to Bahrain maybe around 30 years ago to join the Arabian Gulf University Medical School, where I was on faculty there for some time. Since then, of course, I left the Arabian Gulf University and started my private practice, and now I'm here at Bahrain Specialist Hospital doing both clinical and administrative work. And I must say that it has been a very long journey, but it was enjoyable all the time. During my medical school years, you know how medical students as colleagues try to sort of tease each other. Sometimes we look at somebody, we tell him that you look like a good surgeon or an obstetrician, something like that. So one of my colleagues looked at me, and he was a close friend of mine. He said, you will be turning out to be a good pediatrician. And I must say that during my medical school years and my residency, I really enjoyed going to the nursery, taking care of babies, even when I was not on call. And I'm very fortunate in the sense that when I was in my practice, the children that I was taking care of, you know, children sort of don't like the person who gives them injections, as you imagine. And I do give injections to my babies all the time. However, I was fortunate enough that whoever child I was taking care of still maintained a good relationship with me, even though I was giving them the injection at certain times, and I used to see them later on. The good thing about this is something that I started to pass by right now, that some of the babies that I treated a very long time ago now are married and bring their children to me. So this really is a very good feeling to me, that I'm seeing the child when he was a baby. Now I see him or her as an adult bringing his or her daughter or son to me to take care of. And this really gives me a very good satisfactory feeling. What we need to be aware of is that we are always faced with certain new things in our life, whether it is an infection. And I need to say something about COVID-19 just in one word. Of course, all of us are feeling this situation. We have to adjust and adapt to what's going on. At the end of the day, we really need to be flexible with what's going on with us. We need to keep a very good eye on our children, because the children in this society are the future leaders. So the more we give them attention, the more we give them proper well-being, education, etc., then we will be sure that the story of this country and our region will continue to be successful, as we received it from our parents to continue for our children and grandchildren.
Every week at Health Hub, we bring you the latest and most relevant information to your health. I'm Dr. Khawla, and I'll see you next week.